I was once the most famous simp in school. For the sake of a girl, I gave up my studies, my health, and almost died from obsession. But in this second life, I decided to live for myself. Yeah, when I decided to stop being a simp, the school beauty who once broke my heart suddenly panicked. She started chasing me. From simp to comeback, just how far can I go? Dear Alex, do you remember what you said before? That it's very foolish to change your life for someone else. Do you think someone like that might appear in your world? I'll see you at Jeongju University. Alex felt like he had been struck by lightning, his mind going completely blank. Having lived two lives, how could he not understand the meaning behind Isabel T's words? No wonder Isabel T, who had the grade center at top university, stayed at Jeongju University. Shame she really did it for herself. In his past life, Alex Z didn't have much interaction with Isabel T. Now, after this month of getting to know her, she had actually stayed at Jeongju University for him. Unfortunately, in his past life, Alex Z was so obsessed with Sarah C that he never paid much attention to Isabel T. Now that he had been reborn, he had interacted with Isabel T a little, which was why she had gathered the courage to write him a confession letter. Alex Z's breathing grew hurried, his hand trembling slightly as he held the letter. In a daze, he seemed to realize another layer of meaning behind his rebirth. Isabel T probably didn't marry the person she truly loved, so her future life wouldn't be happy. That was her regret, and Alex T realized it was a regret caused by him. Alex T took a deep breath and muttered to himself, Isabel T, I'll see you at Jeongju University. Since Isabel T had left that last message, it was likely that he wouldn't see her again for a while. Given her shy nature, she would probably try to avoid him. If that was the case, then he'd see her at Jeongju University. Just then, he heard his mother, Amina Z, shouting angrily outside, Megan W, if you talk bad about my son again, I'll smash your whole house. Alex Z quickly stood up and rushed to the door. What's going on with Mom? Why is she arguing with the neighbor? In the stairwell, Amina Z and Megan W were glaring at each other, vegetables scattered all over the floor. Megan W sneered and said, am I wrong? If it weren't for him always dragging my son to internet cafes, would his grades be so bad? Alex Z, with his bottom-of-the-class grades, wants to get into Jeongju University. Dream on. You bitch! I'll fight you! Amina Z, furious, rushed forward to grab Megan W by the hair. Megan W didn't back down, grabbing into Amina Z's arm and biting her. Mom, only Megan, stop. Alex E quickly intervened to break up the fight. Megan W's words were indeed harsh, but she was still a neighbor who had helped his family out over the years. It seemed like her precious son had failed another exam, so she was taking her anger out on Alex Z's family. Alex Z separated the two women. Amina Z, still fuming, said, don't stop me. I'm going to tear her mouth off. Megan W stood with her hands on her hips, taunting, come on, try me. You got no guts to do anything, so what are you acting all tough for? Alex Z, let me go. Hey Mom, calm down. Alex Z hugged Amina Z tightly and then said to Megan W, and Megan, calm down. We're neighbors. There's no need to make things so tense. Megan W straightened her hair, which had been messed up by Amina Z, and said coldly, fine, I won't argue with you in front of the kids. Amina Z, also mindful of Alex Z being present, didn't want to appear too harsh. She didn't want Alex Z to think his mom was a violent woman. Megan W picked up the vegetables from the floor and left for home. Alex Z, now carrying the remaining vegetables, stuffed them into a plastic bag. School got out early today. Amina Z squatted down with him to pick up the vegetables. Alex Z nodded, saying, yeah, 5 days off, and then the college entrance exam. Amina Z pursed her lips, thinking about all the struggles, her eyes starting to mist over. Alex Z, are you confident you'll get into college? Can you have a little faith in your son? Haven't you seen how hard I've been studying, barely sleeping or eating? Alex Z spoke gently. He suddenly realized that his parents might be under even more pressure than he was. The mockery from his uncle's family. The judgmental stares from the neighbors. It was all because of his past pre-exam results. In this era, failing to get into college often lead to people looking down on you. In the eyes of most, only by getting into a university could you have a future. And in a way, they were right. Mom believes in you. Amina smiled through her tears, then picked up the groceries and headed back inside. Tony Za came home around 9 p.m. looking tired and with a furrowed brow. The three of them sat down together for a warm meal, 3 dishes and a soup. For the next 5 days, Alex E studied hard for 3 days. The last 2 days, Michael C dragged him to the internet cafe for 2 days of relaxation. Neither Amina Z nor Tony Z had any objections. After all, Alex Z had been working so hard, and with only 2 days left until the exam, he needed to unwind a little. June 7th. Like train, Alex Z woke up at 6 a.m. Amina Z heard the noise in the living room and nudged Tony Z. Tony, why is Alex up so early? The exam is coming up. He's probably getting ready early. Then I'll get up and make him some breakfast. Amina Z got up and turned on the light, starting to get dressed. Tony Z took 100 yuan from under his pillow and said, "Give him this, let me out." All right, Amina Z quickly dressed and went to the living room. Mom, did I wake you up? Alex Z smiled awkwardly. Why are you up so early? If you don't rest well, how will you have the energy for the exam? Amina Z scolded gently. I made plans to meet some classmates before heading to the exam venue. You don't need to get up this early for that. Amina Z looked at Alex Z suspiciously. The exam is at the second high school, and it takes over an hour by bike. Who told you to bike there? Take a taxi, and if you can't come back tonight, just stay in a nearby hotel. These 2 days, eat well outside. Amina Z shoved the 100 yuan into Alex E's hand. His dad only earned about 800 yuan a month. His mom did some handcraft work to make extra, earning just over 300 yuan a month. In this era, the average salary was low and prices were cheap. Most boarding students had only 20 yuan for a whole week. Alex E's allowance was 30 yuan a week, of which 20 yuan went to Sarasi. Thinking about how his parents worked so hard to earn money, and he spent it all on Sarasi, Alex Z felt a pang of discomfort. That 100 yuan was equivalent to what his mom earned from 10 days of handcraft work. In his previous life, Alex Z had taken it for granted that his parents would give him money. But after being reborn, he realized just how heavy that 100 yuan truly was. Mom, thank you. Alex Z hugged Amina Z, his eyes reddening. Do well on the exam. Don't let your dad and me down. Amina Z patted Alex Z's back. Alex Z glanced at the time. It was already 6:30 a.m. He needed to intercept Chris and G before she left for the bus. In the past 2 days, he had figured out where Chris and G lived. It would take at least an hour to bike from his place to her apartment in Flip Flower Garden.